Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
As things change, we have to change with the times. This is the voice of the land, but it looks a little bit different. I think you're going to see this set up a little bit more. We'll get into that in just 1 second. I am Kevin Arnold. I was one of the original people with this show. One day, 3 or 4 years ago, I reached out to a man named Peter Telep on LinkedIn. Actually, I think Peter reached out to me even as I was posting the audio of this podcast out on LinkedIn. And I was doing it with Nick Paulus at the time. And a year later, we were in this studio in an undisclosed location. We're not going to give away where we actually are unless you are a guest and we bring you here. We started doing video, going to YouTube, and then we became a live podcast, a live video podcast on the Big Play Network. We thank them for being a part of them. Always been partnered with LPV Productions. And then as Nick's role grew at his job, we brought in Always Positive Jay, who is right next to me now instead of across the table. And Always Positive Jay and I, we did a Browns post-game show. We were on Sunday nights. Sometimes a lot of people watched, sometimes a lot of people didn't. Then we switched to Wednesday nights. During the week, breaking news, we could react to things a little bit better. And we started to get more views, and our friends with Big Play have grown as well. Well, one more change has come to the show as we now welcome a third member. Yes, that's right. I said a third member to the show. Down all the way to my left, it is Ryan Mosser. You may know of him doing the Browns follow trains at Dynasty Clee on Twitter/X. But Ryan Mosser, now a part of the show. Ryan, welcome to the chaos.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm really excited. Really ready to get going, man. I'm really a little nervous, but we'll be okay. But I'm excited to get going. So
trust me, it's a little different the first time that these lights that Peter likes to put on us that blind the heck out of me every single show. Now that I'm actually looking at them and they're not off to my left at the table, it's a little different when you get in front of the microphone, but we'll have a lot of fun. You're going to find out, Ryan, that this show goes off the rails all the time. We start with a plan. That's why we don't have this plan and we're writing out all this outline throughout the week before we do a show, because news breaks, things change, and then we get into conversations that go way off topic of what we wanted to do. Tonight, though, guys, I think we should start. While there has been a trade deadline and the Guardians seem to be getting out of their offensive funk and the Olympics are going on, we had a special night last night we will talk about as well. Not getting into any promos tonight, even though I am going to SummerSlam on Saturday, which I'm looking forward to.
Might have a mini one ready to go. I'm
Jay
a little fired up. I mean, I'm a big brother. Someone came at my brother here, and I got something to say later. So, and before we get into our next subject, I'm very excited to have you on, Ryan.
thank you.
One thing we knew as a group, we needed to grow our social media, and we want to get everything out there. We want to provide people with so much more content and different ways to reach us.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, for me now, probably a year and a half, I've been looking for someone, and it's not easy to just bring anyone in because you don't want to lose the identity of your show, but you want a new personality and just a new perspective on sports and and honestly just help bring something new to a conversation. Because if you watch the show, me and Kevin, a lot of times we agree on stuff. So we're hoping maybe you have a different view on a lot of stuff.
He already told us that he did last week.
Yeah. He's ready to go with his takes. He was watching last week behind the scenes, and he's like, man, I had so many takes during that. I'm like, yeah, you'll get the itch during the week. And you got some growing to do. It's your first podcast, and you'll get it, dude. Like, I didn't go to school for this. I just learned from this guy a lot, and you're going to catch on great. You'll do just fine.
Thank you.
You know your sports, dude. You know your stuff. You'll be great.
Awesome.
I went to school for this for 6 months at the Ohio Media School, and their Beyond Network are gracious enough to put the audio version of this out on the Beyond Air Podcast Network. So it goes out across the country. But there's also things you have to find out on your own. That was the biggest thing that I learned at the school. They let you do things hands-on to just let you figure out you. They could give you we can give you all the tips that we want.
Cool.
You're going to find your way. You're going to find what works best for you. So trust me, it'll be take it one show at a time. Your first show is always supposed to be your worst show.
Right.
So, and if the show is great, then hey, you gotta.
It's always up from here.
Yeah,
That's all you gotta
always
worry about.
up from here.
Thanks, guys.
Well,
What the Cavs are trying to do, though, they are trying to ascend in the Eastern Conference. They're trying to ascend in the NBA. And kind of out of nowhere, I didn't really see talk of this, people asking whether this would happen this offseason. But we know Donovan Mitchell has signed his extension, and we've gotten the max contract, the second contract for Evan Mobley. They signed him as a max player. Whether you agree with that or disagree with that, the fact of the matter is that's what he was going to ask for. The players in his draft class that have similar stats got the max contract from their teams. That's what you have to do to keep players that you drafted. So he is signed, and now his counterpart in the center position, Jarrett Allen, has also signed an extension today, this afternoon, 3 years, $91 million. The max that he could sign being under the Cavs roster and distinction. Ryan, I'll actually start with you. When you saw this come down today, did it surprise you? Does it make you are you upset about it? Are you glad about it? Are you just not sure about what this Cavs team is going to be if they want to keep it together?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it did surprise me a little bit. But now I'm thinking about it, him previously being with Kenny Atkinson, and he was, helped develop him and stuff like that. And him with Mobley as well. I think that once we hired Kenny, I think it was a done deal. I think they wanted to keep their guys in Cleveland, keep the big guys. So.
Jay, I mean, Jarrett Allen is a big piece. And when Evan Mobley and Darius Garland were out last year, it was Donovan Mitchell and Jarrett Allen. They really developed a bond. And if the rumors or what people think is actually happening, Donovan Mitchell pulling all the strings, the puppet master or whatever, because JB's gone. Everybody pointed to, well, that's because Donovan didn't like him. And now Jarrett Allen signs.
I'm pretty sure almost 80% of the fan base also didn't want him back. I didn't want him back. And it's nothing personal. Same thing probably with Donovan Mitchell. Probably wasn't personal, but I highly doubt his opinion was the deciding factor. You know what I'm saying? Did they ask him? Sure, probably did. What he said, I have no idea. It's all speculation. I don't do speculation. I don't try to guess what people are saying behind closed doors. Now, my opinion on this signing, I love it. You know me. I've always been a huge supporter of Jarrett Allen when he had his struggles in New York, and I said, it's either going to make him better or worse. It's either going to make him or break him. And he came out this season, definitely made him. He came out with vengeance, like he was so much better than he was the season before. And unfortunately got hurt. People ridiculed him like, oh, you got to go and play through pain. Like, dude, you go play basketball with broken ribs before you tell someone else to go play basketball with broken ribs, for sure. Like, dude, you know how many people I know at our age that are just like won't even play any sports, and they're going to tell people to go out there and play with broken ribs. And then they go, oh, but they're getting paid millions. Like, what does that have to do with anything? This dude's career is like could change if he gets broken rib and it breaks a little more and stabs him in the lung or something horrible happens. Like, I can't stand that take. It always annoyed me. I'm just so glad. Like, Jarrett Allen is my favorite player. He's not the best player on the team. Donovan Mitchell is. But he's my favorite player, and I'm excited to have him here for years to come. And I think it's a really good deal also.
I see Jarrett Allen as kind of a Josh Naylor type. We know that the best player on the Guardians is Jose Ramirez. We know the best player on the Cavs is Donovan Mitchell. But the heart and soul, Guardians, right. Josh Naylor. Last year, I could say that for a good stretch, Jarrett Allen was the heart and soul of the Cleveland Cavaliers, doing all the dirty work, taking it personally when people were coming back at him. And I think he understood why, because he was very open and honest. Now, that's kind of a oxymoron when we want our coaches, we want our GMs, we want our players to be more open with us and more honest and tell us exactly, instead of the coach speak, the players speak, all those types of things. He told you after the Knicks series, the lights were too bright. We all could see that. He just said what we all saw, and people got upset about it. He took that personally. He took it personally that people said he was soft, and I think that I saw an improvement in that this past season. Now, if the conspiracies want to be that he could have played, but he didn't, things like that. Look, we don't know what someone is going through. Unless you walk in someone's shoes or you can feel the pain that they feel in the exact moment they feel it, you don't know. I don't know what Ryan, I don't know what you've gone through in life. Jay, I don't know everything that you've gone through in life. I can empathize with certain things as we learn about each other, and we may have been in similar situations, but other times we might not have been. But it means that you at least need to respect a person and understand, hey, if they're out, they're out. And if it's Jared Allen, I would say he wanted to do everything he could for the team, and he couldn't. He couldn't function. He couldn't perform in the way that he knew that he could. And the Cavs staff probably knew that as well. Were they a little coy with what exactly was going on with him? It felt like it. It felt like they didn't want to fully reveal maybe what he was going through. That'll probably come out at some point, and then we'll have to talk about that too. But in terms of this deal, they've told you all along. It's not Andrew Berry saying that Baker Mayfield's our guy, and then we have Deshaun Watson like a month later. They said they wanted to keep this core four together. That's why they brought on Kenny Atkinson. I mean, Ryan, what did you think of, this is our first time talking about this, with Kenny Atkinson coming in, Jared Allen, one of his former players? Do you think that that's the biggest move and the biggest fix that this team needed to make to get the most out of this talented roster?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like I said, he's a development guy. He helped when he was there when Jared went into the league originally, and I think that him with Mobley as well. Yeah, some think that Mobley is a superstar. Some think he's a bust. We don't know. I mean, obviously we know what the Cavs think of him when we extended him. I think that Kenny with him as well is just going to be just like, peanut butter and jelly. I think they're going to just take off. I think this is going to be a skyrocket of Mobley's career. And I think that Allen is just going to be right there with him alongside. So,
a lot of people were criticizing the team for not making any big moves. Like, I don't know if you knew this, like they really couldn't. They're pretty locked in with all their core. Like, the only big move is pretty much keeping Okoro right now. That's going to be their big sign. I'm sure they'll have some little signings here and there. But they kept this team together, and they really believe in this coach is going to unlock these players, because defensively, Evan Mobley is elite as it comes. Like, due to second in Defensive Player of the Year, his rookie year, and it was no fluke. He showed up next year and same defensive player again. Like, he's an unbelievable defensive player, great rebounder. He's also like a pretty damn good passer in the post, to be honest with you. His offense is what needs help, and I think that's what Kenny Atkins, why he's here. He's going to help unlock that, and if he does, that is the biggest acquisition, like you said, Kevin, because they have a foursome or all-stars. Not too many teams have that right now, and they were so young. And if Darius Garland could just return to form like he has been, the great player that we know he can be, the ceiling is, I mean, the sky is the ceiling for this team. And Boston right now is the measuring stick. And frankly, battered and bruised and people out, including Donovan Mitchell, they gave him the best fight in the playoffs this year. So who knows? Like, if they were healthy, who knows what they would have done? Would they have beat him? Probably not, but I bet they would have taken him a lot more games.
We just brought up the guy that we haven't actually mentioned yet in all of this by talking about Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell. It's Darius Garland. We know what he went through last year. Do you think he can find that all-star DG again?
Yeah, I do. He's got dog in him, man. He really does. He's a fighter. He wants to be recognized as one of the great players in this league. And I think he'll be the first person to tell you that he had a bad season last year. Is there reasons for it? Sure, but he ain't going to be the one to make excuses for it. So I'm not going to make excuses for it. But it's the past. Let's learn for it, and hopefully the dude comes back next year and he's ready to rock and roll. Ryan, what's your opinion on Garland next year, or all around? Like, a lot of these opinions we don't know with yet, so we're learning on the spot.
We're feeling things out right now.
I like Garland. I'm cautious with Garland for next year. I mean, I'm optimistic, yet I still have to see how they mesh, I guess. I'm not sure. I think he's a good player. I think after he broke his face a few times, I feel like he's a little more hesitant to go to the hole, maybe. But when he's hot, he's hot. He's a great piece of this team. I just want to see a little bit more meshing. Hopefully, injuries or lack of injuries provide that. So we'll see.
And it's interesting that, a guy like Brian Windhorst, who has been around the NBA game for a long time, he started by covering LeBron and covering high school sports for the Akron Beacon Journal. And then, as LeBron goes, he kind of gets a chance to show what he is, and ESPN brings him on for the right reason because he knows the NBA. He's out in Paris right now following this team. When he says that he actually has more confidence that Donovan and Darius can figure it out over the two centers, I find that interesting, and I believe him, and I trust that. I kind of see it the same way, but you would think that people would have more concerns about Donovan and Darius figuring it out. And I think people have voiced that because look at Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum.
Right.
I mean, they had those guys together for a while, and I feel like they played well together, but it just never amounted to anything. Kenny Atkinson's task is to get the most out of Evan Mobley and to find a way for Darius and Donovan to play well together. Kyrie and Luka found a way in that backcourt for Dallas, and that's why they made a run in the Western Conference playoffs. Can Kenny Atkinson do that? The Cavs have given you and shown you their biggest acquisition. That's the coach. Everybody else wanted, JB to be gone, find a new coach, but also since everybody knew in the back of their mind the Cavs have limited assets with other trades that they've made in the past. You can't trade first-round picks in consecutive seasons. If you have a 2025 and you trade it, you can't trade a 2026. You have to trade a 2027 if you're going to do anything like that. They saw the core four. They saw each of those guys as a big piece that could get something back and help this team. So I think we're still looking for that wing player, that 3-and-D. Max Strus had good stretches last year, too inconsistent. George Niang started out decently well, went missing down the stretch and in the playoffs.
Oh, in the playoffs, he was killing us, man.
Brought him in to hit that corner three on both sides of the floor that I saw him hit so many times with the Sixers and just didn't do it. Now, is that a bad year? Or is that who he is now? Right. That's what Kenny Atkinson is going to have to do. He's got a lot on his plate to get this team to a new level in the Eastern Conference and the NBA. You've made it past the first round. To me, making it just past the second round isn't enough anymore. The baby steps are over.
Yeah.
Training wheels are off of this team.
Oh, for sure.
If you're going to tell me and keep this core four together. I'm not saying I disagree with that, but if you're going to keep this core four together, it needs to excel and accelerate the process of contending in the NBA next season. That's a lot to put on a first-year head coach, but that's what he was brought here for. I'm sure Kobe Altman told him that, told all the candidates that, and it seemed like Kenny Atkinson was the one that showed them that he was ready for it.
What an insane time for sports. Pretty much Cavs. What do we expect? Championship. Guardians right now. What do you expect from them?
They raised the bar.
Everyone raised the bar. Next year, Browns. What do you expect from them? Championship.
Crazy.
That is wild to me, man. That is just absolutely insane to me and awesome at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, you're tuned into the Voice of the Land right here on the Big Play Network and with, of course, LPV Productions and the Be On Air Podcast Network. A little different tonight. No breaks, nothing, going straight for an hour. But big news right off the top for those maybe just joining us. We do have a third member on the Voice of the Land that is Ryan Mosters. So we are making additions and trying to take us to another level. The Guardians are a team, and you are decked out in your Guardian stuff
for sure. I'm
here
ready
tonight.
to rock.
You're ready to rock. The Guardians, of course, they have taken our expectations, our mindset around them to a new level that we thought about from the beginning of the year. And it feels like it is that way when there's not many expectations or you're not thinking too highly of the Guardians or baseball just coming into the season when they go young and they don't make a lot of acquisitions that people think that they're going to make at some point. When they're a mid-market team, and that's not how this goes. They are 65 and 22, or not 42, 32, something like that.
Really, really good. And they got the best record
42.
in baseball.
That's what it is. 23 games over 500. They have the best record percentage-wise right now by a half a game over Philadelphia, who they just took 2 games from. But everybody in town is not too keen on the Guardians. For some reason, this negative cloud just wants to follow them because they didn't make a big move. They didn't make a big splash at the trade deadline, especially for starting pitching. Jay, how are you feeling after the trade deadline?
Great. I'm fine. I think the team needed tweaks. I wish I could have got probably a ready to go starter, but it was a low risk, high reward starter. The dude is a good pitcher when healthy. He's almost ready to go. And I think Lane Thomas is going to be – everyone's going to fall in love with this kid. You just watch. He steals bases pretty damn good, and he just destroys left-handed bats, Kevin. He absolutely annihilates them, and we needed a right-handed bat. He's an all right outfielder. He's not bad. He's not like Gold Glove, but he's just – from what I hear from people that know Washington, that he's a good high character person, and that's what they need. That's what they want. They don't want to ruin this great clubhouse that they got going. The culture is perfect right now, Kevin. And like, you can't ask for more. So you don't want to bring in some guys, especially from, I don't know, the White Sox or something. They're a big name, but look what those dudes are used to, how they're used to playing compared to how the Guardians are used to playing. Hard nosed, always giving it 110%. And then some, and we just didn't need no one coming in ruining that at all.
Ryan, I think Lane showed us his character and why he's such a good fit for the culture that we've known the Guardians to be. I mean,
I know you're about to say, I absolutely love this story about this dude. I heard this day. Oh, I love it.
I don't know if I'm about to say this.
I think I know what you're about to say.
But if I don't tell the story, then you can tell the story in just a minute. But Ryan, like, this guy, he finds out he's traded. The day before the deadline, he's shaking hands with his teammates and stuff and saying goodbye in Arizona, takes a red eye to Detroit, joins the team as they, of course, sent Will Brennan down to AAA. That was the odd man out in the outfield to get Lane into the outfield, put him second in the batting order in between Kwan and Ramirez. This guy catches a red eye, doesn't get much sleep, and tells Stephen Vogt, tells the Guardians, like, I'm ready to go. I want to play today. I came here. You guys traded for me for a reason. I want to play. That's got to say a lot without it being very much. It's got to say a lot about the guy, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's really honorable as well as I would want to come to the first place team as fast as possible too. I mean, obviously taking a red eye, I think that's just a quick move for him. But I think that, sorry, I'm still a little nervous, guys. No, I commend him. I think it's great that he's part of the team. I mean, he's already trying to steal bases. He's a heck of a player. I actually really like him. I think he's got some good RBIs. He's got a pretty decent batting average, and like Jay said, he's one of the best stealing at bases in the league. So
I think he's got like 28 right now already.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it is. I almost positive it's 28, unless he got one yesterday.
Almost positive, Jay.
Almost positive.
That's funny.
Instead of always, almost positive, Jay.
Yikes. But I mean, they're showing that they're, I wouldn't say all in. Like, they didn't make no huge splash, but there was no huge splash. Like, what team made it? Teams that, like, don't really care about their prospects because they could just load their payroll up like a ton. Probably the Dodgers, that Frederick or whatever. Yeah. We'll see how that works.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Yankees and the Dodgers have highest payrolls. The Dodgers won the COVID season. The Yankees haven't won since 2009. Got guys that strike out a lot. Like, it doesn't, just because you have a lot of money, that doesn't pay for championships. And I was talking with, of course, Bally Sports and ESPN Cleveland's Guardians reporter Andre Knott earlier today. I actually got to have a conversation with him, and he was saying how, like, he travels all around the country when the Guardians are on the road, and he's got people in these organizations that he's built relationships with saying that they absolutely love what the Guardians do. And they try to model what the Guardians do. And there are Guardians like the tree. We talk about coaching trees in the NFL. The Guardians tree has spread throughout baseball. AJ Hinch, the manager for the Tigers, said that he has modeled the way he is now managing and trying to beat an interdivision opponent. Why they have had so much success now, because he's mimicking what the Guardians do so that the Guardians don't beat up on the Tigers all the time.
Which, I mean, we just definitely took the last two from them, thank God, because that was getting annoying. But yes, they have a bright future, the Tigers. And that's another thing. Like, we got the #1 record, and everyone's like, oh, because they're in the Central. I don't know if you guys knew this, but there's 3 teams in the top, I think, top 8 of
at least top 10.
It's the top 8. In Kansas City and Detroit are right there.
Minnesota.
I'm sorry, Minnesota. My bad. And Detroit is coming up. Chicago, they'll probably stay in the dumpsters forever. They're a joke of a franchise. And I love making fun of them because I frankly can't stand them. But that's why I wear a shirt. Love that day. Thank you, Jose.
Yeah, he's not even in the in the big leagues right now.
No, I wonder why. He hasn't done anything ever since Jose knocked him out, pretty much.
But look, again, the Guardians have put their stamp on Major League Baseball. Now, imagine
if there was like they were able to spend like the other teams, like or the Yankees and the Dodgers and all these high payroll teams couldn't spend like they do, and there was a salary cap. Cleveland would dominate baseball. I'm sorry, they would absolutely have multiple World Series by now. But I'll keep preaching it, man. You need to fix that. It's not cool that if there's an unfair advantage because cities have a higher population than I do. That's just my opinion. I'm never going to give up on it. I'm going to die on that hill.
And whether it's fair or not, I mean, we've been harsh on the Dolans on this show, and a lot of people in town have. But, Ryan, what you're going to find out about this show, we do a lot of reality checks. And it's not reality checks for, like, thinking that people don't know these things. It's bringing to the forefront what is in the back of everybody's mind, but we're all fans, and when we're in fan mode, fan is short for fanatic, so we don't think realistically. Right. This show tries to bring that. And if we disagree and you want to disagree with us, that is totally fine. It is never going to be manufactured on the show like other places. That's not what's going to get us clicks. Having real conversations. Yep. And that could be sports, that could be life. We've done it all on this show. It could be movies, whatever.
Bluey.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, Jay's gonna have to sit in the middle while Ryan and I talk.
My God, I get this.
Oh boy.
So you guys know now I got Bluey here, I got Bluey there. I'm blued out. And it's on in my house. This is not you guys have blue. It's horrible.
We're cracking the surface.
It's terrible.
Now I got someone on my side to help.
I mean, I tried it, and it didn't last but more than 5 minutes.
I don't know if you actually tried.
I don't know. Oh no, yeah. I did. I promise you did, and it was not. No, cool.
No, if you really tried, you wouldn't be saying that.
Right. No.
All right, I'll watch a full
like
episode. I'll watch 5 episodes in a row. You gotta
5.
watch one scary movie I pick.
If you watch 5 episodes and prove to me you do that, I will watch one scary movie.
And it won't be a bloody one, I'll make you promise.
But I have to tell you, as part of that deal,
you might have nightmares.
No. I mean, yes. But Jana's got to deal with that. If I'm like flailing all about and I'm asleep and in a nightmare, but I can't guarantee, like, don't set a date on when I have to have the thing watched by, because you know that I don't.
Oh, I won't do that.
Halloween.
God forbid I put a date on it, Mister. I haven't got my wings yet.
Oh yeah, it's true.
I made a bet with this dude. He's a Duke fan, unfortunately for himself, and I'm a big UNC fan. Been like 2 years. I haven't got my wings yet.
I feel like
I'm starving, dude. Starving.
I feel like Gerard Cherry.
You act like Aaron Goldhammer.
All right, well.
Oh, well, can't say anything. That's my coworkers, but Jay can. That kind of sucks.
They're not my coworkers.
They're your partners.
No, teammates.
Whatever.
Partners.
You work with them. You're coworkers.
I'm not getting into GKB vernacular with you right now.
All right, partner.
What I will get into is continue with baseball because, again, I don't know how many times we have to say it. And Dolan's, they take shots from all fans and everything. But the reality is we are in a mid-market, small market town in baseball. And what this Guardians organization, baseball organization, has been able to do to, even if they have a down year, to come back and then be contender still, and that window of contention just stays cracked. It never fully closes, especially since 2013 when Terry Francona came in, and now it just continues to transition. I mean, I think even in the 90s, you could say that this organization, like, it's just trickled on down to who was that next person. Chris Antonetti ended up being the next person. Now he's president, and Mike Chernoff is the GM, and that could change if Chris Antonetti goes elsewhere or, isn't with the organization anymore. Guardians are impacting baseball. Does it equate to a World Series and getting off the schneid? I don't know. Ryan, best case scenario, what do you think this team is capable of now? Like, we know that the bar has been raised, but trying to think back to the beginning of the year and where they are now, what is realistic for this team?
I think we would hold like a 3-4 game lead the entire way. I think it might get tight here, for the push on October. But I think that with Vogue and all these guys, they have so much heart, man. I mean, you can never count them out of games. You have a dude every given night that, just believes and smacks that ball and, gets a hit and gets on base, and we just keep going. They're never out. So I think with their mentality, yeah, they have the starting pitching for me is not that too great. I think we have some guys coming up. I think we have some decent guys, but I wish we really had that ace.
Man, if we had Shane Bieber, it still hurts.
Yeah, and you have,
if they have Shane Bieber, like right now, people are like, you have the best record, but you're Cleveland. It'd be like everybody, like, no, they're the best team. Like they have a great bullpen. They have the ace. They would be so complete.
Even if we had Dr. Sticks right now.
Yeah. But the thing is, no one in the league is the complete team this year.
No.
It's up for grabs. Grab it.
I mean, the Guardians are 5-5 over the last 10. The Orioles, who come into town tomorrow night, consider one of the best, and like they're talked about as one of the darlings. The Yankees and Red Sox always come up as the darlings. The Dodgers, like, even if they're going bad, everyone has good things to say. If the Guardians start to go through one of those, like just like they just did, the baseball roller coaster, like, they just become non-existent. When they're good, they're just sprinkled into conversation. And I think that this team relishes in that. So let's keep it that way. But in this town, I know that guys are throwing footballs in West Virginia in shorts and against air, and the quarterback's going 7 for 7 and 7-on-7 drills, or maybe threw an interception, whatever. None of that counts until we see games. There is a team still playing games. I'm not saying the Browns don't count. I'm saying keep the big conversation at the forefront. And when the Browns start on September 8th and it all matters, they get bumped in to the conversation. Guardians stay in the conversation until they're done, though. And we got a chance yesterday to see the future of this team with a little bit of the past as well. Jay, tell the people, what did we get a chance to do yesterday?
Well, we went down to the Lake County Captains.
Yes.
What's the name of the stadium?
Classic Auto Group Park.
Thank you. And we got to go meet Omar in person, which was absolutely amazing.
Omar Vizquel, best shortstop in baseball.
Ever. If he did a backflip on the field, he would be considered by everyone. But, whatever. And then we got to meet his old partner in crime, Carlos Baerga. And what a treat. The guy, hopefully we get him on the show. Fingers crossed. But it was just a treat. And then after that, we go to get to see the number 1 overall pick, Travis Bazzana, and the rain came. The rain came. What happens today, Kevin?
He hits a grand slam for his first professional home run.
All I'm saying is, as a group, first time out all together, we brought some good karma to that stadium.
Yep.
The rain came there. It couldn't even wash it off because the next day, my man hits a grand salami.
I mean, I don't want to look at it with like glass half empty type stuff, but like when we had left the ballpark and that stuff happened, the good stuff happened today. When we got to the ballpark, the dark clouds rolled in. My weather apps before I got to the ballpark.
It was clear skies when I got there.
Yeah.
Someone got there late with the clouds.
Somebody has to work
Yeah,
longer hours.
I'm just saying.
Or just
you
later
brought
hours?
the dark
Not
clouds
longer
with
hours.
you, though. You
Okay.
brought the dark clouds with you.
Okay. All right.
I had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
we
Ryan
all
had
had
fun.
fun.
It was really cool.
You know,
So yeah.
He
I can't wait to see your shots that you got from the stadium. Like, we'll post them on our social
Yeah.
media and stuff. But yeah, I'm really excited to see those for sure. And yesterday was exciting. We ran into Cameron Justice,
Yep.
which is always good to talk to her. She should be coming on soon. It was just great to get out for a little bit and hang out with you guys. Hang out with your wife and kid, who's always fun to be around. And he's just a pure ball of joy. And he has your head, dude. He has
I
the
know.
Arnold head, and it's
I am so sorry, Lincoln.
no, but he looks cute with it. Unlike
I'm
yourself,
sorry, Jana, actually.
Oh gosh.
I rip him all the time. He knows I love him though.
I didn't actually hear what you said because I tuned you out.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah?
we don't need you crying on the show.
Why would I cry?
I don't know.
What'd you say?
These guys are cute.
Is it unlike you?
All right, well,
What?
kiss ass down there. Now he's starting to get into it.
Mentioning talking some smack.
Did we mention talking smack?
No, I'm saying mentioning talking
That's a
smack.
WWE show. I don't know if we can say that because that might be trademarked at this point.
Talking smack is talking smack, dude. I'm not.
I know. I'm just saying that they call that's their post SmackDown show every time on Peacock. So who knows what WWE trademarks? Like some people can't even take their name to other promotions because WWE controls all that.
We're talking bad about each other. Okay. Is that
Okay.
better? And our buddies from the Side Hustle podcast took some shots at you, especially Kyle. So this one, Kyle, before you come at my dude, Kevin, throwing shade at him, let you know that you sound like a generic Ben Stein and you look like the long lost brother for the Bushwhack brothers. Like, take it easy before you throw some shade at my dude here. But that's all we're gonna say. Like, I ain't got no more else to say to you, dude. I'm gonna let all my talking be on the putt-putt course when we whoop your candy asses.
Look, I mean, I put down a score over the weekend when I was in Kentucky.
I gotta get there because I ain't playing with these dudes.
You
You
gotta
got me fired up. Like, yeah, you guys are still cool, but
No, this is now happening. Like they've gone too far to just make this a bit. They went too far last week with their response to, oh, he's so monotone. If I wanted to be monotone, I could be monotone and put
he
you to sleep.
responded back to you in monotone, dude. He literally was monotone, doing it right back to you, complaining about you in monotone, sounding like the generic Ben Stein. I'm sorry. You're like, oh, you gotta learn how to cut a promo. Like, dude, you need to learn how to cut a promo.
He said that I helped him go to sleep and get the best night of
I'm
sleep.
pretty
he had.
sure your job is to cut promos for ESPN.
I'm pretty sure it is too.
Is
But he
that-
said he got the
is that
best.
enough, like, out there for you? My voice? Did I change my voice enough for you? Is that good enough?
I don't know.
know,
Nothing.
but I know it's going to be good enough. Our game when it comes to putt-putt.
Look, if someone says that my monotone voice put him to sleep and got their best night of sleep having a 7-year-old kid, well, you're welcome. Just like Maui said, huh, you're welcome. I don't know. I don't think that that's a bad thing. If you have the best night of sleep in 7 years, I would take that as a good thing because I haven't gotten a good night of sleep in the last year plus. So,
Yeah.
you just
Hey man.
chased yourself
Now-
out of that promo.
Now we got some muscle on this squad too, so y'all better be careful.
I don't know what else do you want from me? Do you want me to drop all the expletives and everything? That's your guys' show. You guys can do whatever you want. That's how you've chosen to do it. We don't do that on this show. I can cut a promo on your ass without having to drop all those things. I can beat you on a putt-putt course. And yeah, I have been putt-putting since I was 3. And other people have done that too. But they don't putt-putt every single year, every single week of the summer like I do since I was 3. Putt-putt is my game. So if you want to come to my territory, bring it. I got 3 hole-in-ones last week in Kentucky, out of state, a course I don't even know. Bring me to a course I do know at BA Sweeties. Boy, oh boy, are you in for a beating. And yeah, SummerSlam's coming up this weekend, and I'm going to take all the notes I can on anything that is said, any backstage promos, any promos that just are impromptu in between matches. I will take all the notes that you want. You think I can't cut a promo on your ass? Oh, the first one, just like Ryan's show, the first is always the worst. That means you guys are in some trouble. Yeah, Monotone, you want another night, another great night of sleep? Well, Kyle, I hope you enjoy your time and thinking that you're such great putters. Because whenever you guys want to set the date, and if you guys want to do a joint show and set the date, we'll do that. And hopefully this helps you. This part of the promo helps you get a good night of sleep. Because we're coming. And we'll be well rested. I'll yell in your ear so that you don't never get the best night of sleep ever. I will find ways to keep you from getting a good night of sleep ever again. And all you'll see is just a replay of us beating your candy ass. Can you smell what the VTL is cooking? On to other things, guys.
Boom. How's that for Monotone?
Yeah, how's that for Monotone? Jeez.
You gotta. I mean, that was pretty good, man. I'm
ready to run through that brick wall, man.
This guy, I told you, we got some muscle on the team now.
I don't know.
It's all right. We'll bring him to the.
Yeah, swear words don't scare me, guys. That doesn't make a promo. It might on Netflix next year when WWE goes to Netflix. That doesn't mean it's a good promo. Might want to take notes yourself. On to the Olympics. As people go for gold, we might go for gold in the putt-putt course, but there are true athletes. Let's jokes all aside. This is a fun, hopefully, is a great event between 2 great groups of podcasts. And BA Sweeties, I can't wait to get some Dole Whip, celebrate with some Dole Whip. You guys better pay for my Dole Whip too if we beat you. But the real athletes are on display, and the athletes that we don't get a chance to talk about, they don't get spotlighted enough. They're, if they have a nationally televised event, it's now on these streaming services, or it's deep in the archives of like FS 3.567, something like that. You're seeing the swimming, you're seeing whitewater rafting, you're seeing crazy.
Dude, I just found out that they had whitewater rafting, and someone that's done it a couple times. I have to find the replay on this. Like, I have to. It looks sounds amazing that they're man-made whitewater rafting courses.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, what? They're man-made?
Yeah.
How do I get there? I want to go to Paris right now. I want to get in this thing. But what has been your guys' favorite event so far?
Well, I mean, first of all, shout out to the women's rugby team. The first
that was
ever,
awesome.
Cool. That was really
first ever rugby team, women's side, to get a medal. And I don't know about the men's. I don't know the last time that they won a medal. They actually had a pretty good showing themselves. Just look, New Zealand, Australia, like places like that, they're churning these people out.
What was her name? I'm trying to remember. She looked like Nick Chubb running the ball, but the girl that ran it all the way back.
Alona Mar, number 2.
Was that who ran it back?
She's big on TikTok.
I'm not sure, but man, I feel terrible not remember that name. But that was just.
Well, I know that Alona Mar was like the voice of the voice of the rugby team. She's been on TikTok, and the biggest piece of all this, guys, is the promotion to young kids. Like the viewership of the Olympics is up. Yeah, people get to attend this time, unlike Tokyo when we were still in COVID times and COVID protocols. But the viewership, the ratings are way up. And I think NBC Universal is doing a great job of having the dispersal of all of this content because you have it on NBC, you have it on USA, also on the entertainment network, on Bravo, on there's stuff on Peacock like the Red Zone. Everybody loves Red Zone during NFL, right?
Right.
You know, you can watch all these different games they're going when people are in the scoring range.
We got the Peacock Red Zone pretty much going on.
They have the Gold Zone.
Nice.
Now CBS has the Gold Zone for like UEFA Champions, all these big soccer tournaments when people are scoring. I absolutely love that. Peacock has done, like NBC has done a great job with that. Like you're going to different events when people are winning gold and achieving a dream that I don't think people realize like how big it is. Like you can raise a Larry O'Brien trophy, a Vince Lombardi, a gold medal around your neck, Ryan. Like
Crazy.
did you ever picture yourself in like winning an Olympic medal or in any kind of sport? Or
Yeah, I wrestled 13 years. I was pretty good in the state of Ohio. I was nationally ranked for a while, and then I
What
quit.
did you do for 13 years?
I-
Side hustle. Just listening to what
I
you said.
wrestled.
Muscle.
No,
Sorry. He's so nice. He's not.
no, I quit. I decided to play football in college, so I did that. But I for a while there, I thought maybe I had a coach that was had an Olympic gold medal, and not a gold medal. He was a bronze, but he medaled. It was really awesome.
Mhm.
One time maybe, but just what a cool event, man. I saw like some of my favorite things. I mean, the men's pommel horse, like to seal it for the
Steven
men's.
Nataranzak.
Like
I think so.
perfect. It was beautiful. He sat there like
Clark
yeah,
Kent.
exactly, yeah, and then took off his glasses like Superman, and
I heard about this kid. I mean, not to sound
It
like
was
a jerk because I am a nerd, but he looked like the biggest nerd ever. They said like Clark Kent takes off the glasses and just goes straight Superman to seal the deal.
really
The stories of the Olympics is what my favorite things.
Yeah.
Like again, I'm just horrible with names. The one girl, she was training for an Olympic sport. I want to say like running or something in track, and she had a spinal injury, so she just changed what she was going to do. And whatever event was, it was something to do with shooting, and she medaled.
Yeah,
and she's like, I'm just going to change it. I'm going to get me a medal. And she sought after it, and she did. Simone Biles.
awesome.
What they
Perfection.
can do is it just baffles my mind. The ability. How tall is she? She's got to be all of like 4'10", and she runs across there after doing her dance, does like a handspring, and then just boom, shoots up into the sky and does like 4 flips, twists, and then just lands right in the corner. And just I'm gonna do that again a couple more times. Like
Crazy.
she can get so high in the air, Kevin. How is that humanly possible to me? It's amazing.
You know what's like frustrating about all of this and like talking Olympics is like when you bring it up, there's the people that still say, well, I only care about football because like those aren't athletes. Those aren't athletes. Like that's where an opinion.
Dude, you could hand Simone Biles the ball off. She could do 2 flips, jump right over the offensive line on some goal line stance or something. Like
Make TJ Watt
throw her up
cry.
an alley oop when she's up there, man. That girl gets so not athletic. That's a bunch of bull. Those dudes are
One of
just
my-
angry people that have never been with a woman in their lives. It's their problems, Kevin.
Like if you don't care about the Olympics, that's one thing. Like that's your prerogative, that's your opinion, that's fine. But if you say like they're not athletes or like it's not like real sport, and because it only happens 4 years or every 4 years, so you're not going to care about it. Like I'm one of the weird people when I try to catch.
Agreed.
Yeah, I try to catch some of these sports as best as I can throughout those 4 years. Like I try to see it, but it's not as accessible. And hopefully this Olympics is kind of a platform now that we have so many ways to watch things. Ryan, like I think it'd be great just every now and again to mix things up, or like when you're in the dead period of sports, or like football's over for people and fantasy football's over, and like you're just like, oh man, like I've been watching like this same thing over and over again. Like a change of pace to see a badminton match,
Dude,
like
those
on the
dudes are
floor.
insane.
I mean, have you seen some of the volleyball? Like
Crazy.
indoor, outdoor, they're
Yeah.
all over the
Volleyball
place.
is like my top 3 favorite sports to watch. Like those, I don't know what you want to. I don't want to call them obscure, but just not overpopularized sports.
Right.
I love watching volleyball.
I mean, we had
I've
Misty May
always
forever
have.
too. So
Yeah.
I mean, incredible volleyball player.
I actually
so.
enjoy playing volleyball.
Oh yeah, I would be playing right now. I was just playing a little earlier this summer, but because my shoulders are absolutely destroyed, I just can't do it no more, and that kind of really sucks because it's fun. I love volleyball. I could watch it. Like when it came to high school sports, my one friend Vicky played for our volleyball team.
Mhm.
I went to more volleyball games for our high school team than any other sport. Like I don't know why, I just always loved volleyball, and they're doing great. Like this is awesome for all these, especially the younger athletes. Like this is their stage.
And exposure for sports. Like, did you
Mhm.
see the story with the women's water polo team
Yeah.
with Flavor Flav?
Flavor Flav.
How
Yeah.
No, tell me.
So they didn't. One of the members tweeted out that they don't get paid to go to the Olympics. They have to pay it on their own. So some of them are working 2 to 3 jobs at a time. And Flavor Flav saw that and tweeted out and reached out to them and said, like, "Hey, I'm a girl dad, and I can't stand that. I'm going to sponsor you and your whole team for everything. I talked to your manager." And then he's been there with them wearing the cap. He's like
Nice.
saying, "This is my team."
Does he have the clock?
Yeah.
I actually didn't see
better
the
have
clock,
the
but
clock.
he's got the cap on. He's playing the game, and he's like, "Those are his girls," and I freaking love that. And that's
Yeah.
just like that story alone, like brings awareness to that sport, So
And that's what the Olympics are about. But like
Right.
in these sports, stories like this are happening that we just don't get to see, get told about, get informed, get to view live and in person. Look, in swimming, Tori Husk, and I don't know why I'm forgetting the event. I want to say 100-meter butterfly, but I feel like I'm wrong about that. But Tori Husk, one of the female swimmers on Team USA, wins gold. Her teammate, Gretchen Walsh, wins silver
Yeah.
right next to her in the same event.
that was so exciting.
And like they have the podium, so number 1 is the highest, and you got 2, and it's like a tiered podium. Winner, they get their national anthem played. Well, there's 2 Americans up there. Tori brings Gretchen up on platform 1 so that they can celebrate their achievements together, celebrate with the country together with the national anthem. That seems so small,
It's huge.
It's cool.
but it is a
Yeah.
big, cool story, and we're gonna get so many more. We haven't even had track and field start yet. Water polo's getting going.
Did you see the win
Wrestling.
Katie Ledecky put up? There's
Today?
a picture.
Yeah,
There's a picture, and it is
No
like
one's
it's a
in-
wide picture. No one's in the picture. It's just her. She just crushes
Yeah, it was
whoever
awesome.
the hell was against her. She's like, yeah, I don't know if y'all knew this,
half a
but
pool.
I'm the greatest female swimmer ever, and I'm about to dominate y'all.
have you heard the name Leon Marchand?
I did not.
He's 18
Oh,
years
yes.
old,
Yeah, the swimmer.
the swimmer for France.
And crazy.
He is being coached by the same guy that coached Michael Phelps. And he's going to Arizona State, where this guy is. Bob Bowman is the name of the coach that helped Michael Phelps throughout his domination of all those Olympics. And Michael Phelps, who you would think, won all these medals, doesn't care. He's in Paris commentating, and they show up behind the scenes after Marchand won the 200-meter butterfly today. Mike Tirico and Michael Phelps are in the headquarters in the middle of Paris for NBC. And Michael Phelps has done an interview before and talking about his coach and talking about what Marchand is going to be able to do as he gets older. And you just see like genuine reaction from Phelps rooting on this kid. Yes, he's not on Team USA, but it's an 18-year-old that wanted to be coached by such a prominent figure in the sport, came over here to do so, and Michael Phelps is cheering this guy on as if like he's breaking his records and stuff like that. Like Phelps doesn't care. Those are the type of athletes that you love to see, to let the next generation write their story. Michael Phelps is always going to go down in history as one
Probably
of
the
greatest.
greatest Olympian ever, honestly.
Him or Simone,
Probably,
yeah.
yes. But if someone ever gets an opportunity to beat him, like that's their story. That's that generation's hero and stuff.
Records are made to be broken. That's just how
Right.
it is. We don't want to see records not broken. That ain't no fun. I'm not even going to get into it with the NFL and their new schedule, or with more games and breaking records. I don't
Yeah,
think
we got
that's
plenty of
cool,
time to
but
talk
love
about that because I feel like news will come sooner than later on things like that. But look, I know football's on the horizon. Everybody's getting excited, but like I am locked in, and I love YouTube TV because it allows you to do like 4 different things at once. You got like 4 different corners of your TV. And I'm working, and I have so many different things going on, and I go from equestrian with horses dancing to badminton to ping pong to canoe, not a canoe, but a kayak going down that man-made whitewater rafting course and like trying to get through gates and
as
stuff.
soon as I get home, I'm watching. I'm going to pull that up on YouTube.
You can pull that up on YouTube, and probably I don't know if you have a Peacock account or anything, but
No, I don't.
I feel like some of the replay of some of these things are there. It's just I don't know. I love the Olympics so much, and the fact that they're coming here in 2028. Like, U.S., get your you know what together, because Paris is putting on a show, France is putting on a show. Let's show them what America's about too, and how welcoming we are to all these different people. And yeah, we got our men's basketball team playing and beating teams. But do you guys know the story about South Sudan?
They're a new country.
New country. And Luol Deng of Sudanese descent has used a lot of his money that he made in the NBA to sponsor, just like Flavor Flav with the U.S. women's.
Don't be surprised if they medal. Like, they're
Former
a
Cleveland
scrappy team.
Cavalier. Well, dang, right?
I mean, they played
Yeah.
the U.S. better than Serbia, I think it was. Was it Serbia?
Yeah. Because they're fighting for more than just
Mm.
a basketball game. And that's like why at the end of the show,
When
Ryan.
you see, like, I'm sorry to interrupt. When you see these boats in the opening ceremony and they're coming down, and you see, like, the United States at the end where they just got hundreds of athletes on it.
Mhm.
But when you see those countries and they're just small
Right.
little amount of people, it means everything to them because they have the weight of their entire country is on their shoulders, and they're it, dude. That's all they got there to represent their whole country. So can you imagine the pressure they're on?
Like the Philippines and the weightlifting, winning the first gold medal ever for her
Yeah.
country was incredible. It was awesome. So, just some really cool stories, and it's really awesome. So,
And I don't know that I would call it pressure because I feel like some countries that don't have many athletes, like they're only going to be in
I mean,
one or
pressure's
two
not
sports.
always a bad thing. It could be a
No.
great thing.
no, but like the pride that they feel to wave their country's flag, and then they get into their first event. Like as soon as you participate, first step that you take in your event, whatever it might be, you are forever an Olympian.
Yeah.
It takes it to a whole nother level when you say, like, I'm an Olympic bronze medalist, silver medalist, gold medalist. I have this many medals in my Olympic career. But how profound is it to be able to say, I am an Olympian?
Kevin, you make me want to learn some kind of Olympic sport now. I want to say it.
I try to lead the show and like uplift people,
I'm ready.
just
I
like
just
women's
gotta pick the
rugby.
sport. Gotta find that sport I could still play on my
Badminton.
beat up body. What is it?
badminton.
That overhand, they'll kill me. I can't do things. Same reason I can't play volleyball. It's gotta maybe the shooting.
Maybe.
We'll find something for me.
But Ryan, like as we usually do as we close out our show, coming to the end tonight, it'll probably be a little bit longer of a close than normal, but usually we'll try to get out by 9 now that we're just going straight for an hour.
Cool.
But I always say, don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game. That's what I was told by my family growing up. Like sports meant more to me, just like art means more to someone than, other things that are going on, or theater or business or whatever it might be. Don't let people tell you it's just this or it's just that. If it means more to you, it should. And in the Olympics, that is the epitome of what I am saying at the end of the show. It is more than just a game. That rugby game that the U.S. won the last minute, the last second, to win the first ever medal in U.S. women's rugby history, all of the team members, as they're getting interviewed after the game and the day after, they got tears in their eyes, but happy tears. And you have NBC hosts telling these women, my sister texted me and my niece is in track and field, and she said, my niece came up to her and said, can I learn rugby? The impact on future generations that this has when you get to go to a play at Playhouse Square and some kid is inspired to do that growing up. That's what it's all about. When you have a passion for something, go for it. We have a passion for this. Other people have other passions for other things. Ryan, we are so happy to have you on board. I know you said you were nervous. Didn't sense it at all.
Yeah,
So,
calm down a bit. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like I told
as-
you, eventually
yeah.
you're just having a conversation with your friends. And
That's
people
all that
happen
it
to be
is.
listening in
and you just butt in like Jay butts in on me all the
all
time.
the time.
And I butt in on him all the time. You can butt in on me whenever you want. I don't
Cool.
even have to ask you a question. If you got something you got to get off your chest, just do it.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
For our new member, Ryan Mosser, for Always Positive Jay, for Peter Telep, who's way off camera now. He probably feels great that there's a third person. Now he can really keep himself away from the camera. I am Kevin Arnold, reminding all of you sports fans out there and people anywhere, don't let anyone ever tell you it's just this or that. Don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game for you sports fans. We truly love you all, 3,000.
Don't talk about it. Be about it.
Live life, all gas, no brakes. Go for what you want. This is The Voice of the Land on the Big Play and Be On Air podcast networks. We'll be back next Wednesday. Keep an eye out for a special announcement, possibly for a special show of us and someone we may have cut a promo on here tonight. Have a good night, everybody.